Hi guys, it's Kimberly back with the Twin Flame family and wanted to give you the mini segment that I promised in the last video. I said I'd be making some mini videos around the soul coaching that I do, and the soul coaching is very much ascension coaching. So it's helping you work through your blocks, kind of identify where the patterns are in your life or where you haven't been able to, break through. And that can definitely specifically start with your twin flame. There's a lot that I assess energetically in those sessions that shows me what's kind of going on from the twin flame dynamic. But it always, goes back to you, because this is a journey of self and self-love. And one of the things that we work on in soul coaching is the shifting of belief systems. And that's often, once we identify what the core wound is, that's kind of making us behave in certain ways or get triggered in certain ways, or, to keep repeating a pattern in our lives. It usually stems from a core wound, like typically in childhood, like early childhood. And we work to uncover that. And then we work to find out what the belief is that's been carried forward all these years. And once we identify it, it's pretty like the light bulb goes on, like, oh, okay, yeah. Or it's just that my client or whomever, when I'm working with you guys, you're just like, yeah, I know I'm this, but it's almost like you're standing outside of yourself, not taking like that active role from the inside out. So in shifting a belief system, how do we change deeply ingrained beliefs? Whether it's things that are family ingrained in us, conservative thinking, beliefs that stemmed from our wounds, like I said, false beliefs about ourselves, about certain outcomes in life. The truth with beliefs is that you actually will create resistance where there is none quite often. You will actually manifest an outcome that you don't want because you're so stuck and stringent in that belief and you're fixated on it and you believe it 100%. You're 100% energetically committed to it. So the law of attraction serves it up for you. So it's easy to say, oh no, I have validation of this belief. I've got that validation over and over and over again. Well, of course you did. You keep thinking about it. And the thing about it is to identify what beliefs are no longer serving us. And the ones that aren't serving us are usually the ones that are not uplifting us, not, like guiding us towards self-love or confidence or security or manifestation or flow. It's the beliefs that are limiting. Okay. Like, this happened once, I know it's going to happen again. That type of a belief. Or things that sometimes we're not even totally aware of. Let's go back to the familial reference. Let's say that your mom was kind of like a worrier, like she worried a lot, not a warrior, but a worrier. And she worried a lot and was kind of like a nervous Nelly, as we say. So let's say that your mom was caught in that cycle. And so you may now find yourself either rebelling to that or completely caught in it and not even fully aware of it. So how that manifests now through you could be being sort of worrisome or fearful of things, expecting the negative, right? Like my mom was like that. She worried a lot. She always, a lot of common sense, but common sense and logic is different than, staying safe and all those things is different than, just trusting, right? So you got to be smart, but you also have to trust that everything's going to be okay. So when you go into a situation like really fearful, a lot of times it's like not a good outcome. or you are just really only fearful because it's your own limited thinking. It's your own like inner fears that really don't have any foundation or any strong roots to perpetuate new fear leaves growing off of them, if that makes sense. So going back to the mom reference, so like I said, my mom was worried a lot, and she always thought negative, like she saw the worst in the situation before she would see the best, and it was always like, don't ride your bike too far, don't go too far, and what if I can't see you, and oh my God, what if something happened, and then she would stay home, she'd worry, and she'd worry, and she'd worry, and I'd come in, and I'd be like, I'm fine, and that's just one stupid example, but I really, for me personally, so that, like I said, in adult years, that can go two way, depending upon how you've processed this. But it didn't really wound or scar me, okay? But it definitely left something in me that said, I don't ever want to be this way. It created a contrast. So I tend to be very trusting, very free, very, but other times we'll find that things that our family like inbred in us, it's just ingrained in us. Like you may be nervous or worrisome or fearful or think the negative. I've had so many sessions with twin flames where they are like kind of caught in that, like expecting the worst outcome. And we uncover that it comes from, the mom, not to blame the moms, but a lot of times it does for the divine feminine at least. So, or just like I had a session and it was a cultural thing, right? Like, in certain cultures, you worry or complain or fearful a lot. And so these are the things that in the twin flame dynamic, this is part of what we're clearing now, is this old stuff, these old beliefs that are not serving us. They're no longer serving us. I'm going to give you another analogy and something that I tripped up on today. So I go jogging and take walks, and this is my first spring, summer in a new area. So I'm exploring, and there is a bike path. So it breaks up at a certain point, and I've been having trouble like over the past 5 or 6 times that I've gone out, figuring out where it continues, because it breaks up. There's main road, then there's a sign that says go straight ahead for the bike path to continue, but you never come to it. It's weird. It's very residential. So I'm like, okay. So I just have been walking and jogging down that residential road. There's a pretty pond and enjoying it all the same. And I get to the end and I see a chain link fence. And this chain link fence feels like there's something yucky on the other side to me, like nuclear or, and I don't even live near nuclear or anything. So, but it felt like that. It felt yucky. It felt like garbage, or just, I didn't want to go any further than the chain link fence. So at the end, I would loop around and jog back. And so that would be some main road and back onto the path. Well, wouldn't you know that today I walked all the way up to the chain link fence and I peeked around because it looked like it ended, and I peeked around and there was an opening. And you know what? It was the continuation of the bike path, and it was beautiful, and I kept going, and I'm like, see, if I had just gone further, but my own fear, my own limitation kind of tripped me up, and even threw off my intuition. Okay, so, and that happens too when we have faulty belief systems. It can get the signals all crossed, right? Because you got your logical mind, old stuff, right? I probably went into my mom mode, like, don't go there. That's bad. Something bad's going to happen if you go near the chain link fence, right? So I didn't go. I was kind of fearful. And so, but once I pushed past it, look, there was this clear path right there all that time. I just had to peek around the corner and walk all the way up to it. And that fence, I found out, actually protects a small airport with private planes flying in and out. So anyhow, it's all good because it's about soaring and taking off and not limiting ourselves. So with belief systems, it's all about finding new evidence. So I found new evidence today for whatever bad association I have with stupid chain link fences, or, whatever that was that maybe that did come from my mother, where I felt like, don't go too far, don't go too far, you're going to get hurt. And I went further, and it was so beneficial for me. So a lot of times it's just pushing past the fear or the old belief so that we can find and birth a new belief. And that's how we start to think, be, act, live differently. A lot of times I work with my clients once we uncover what those beliefs are that are not serving us. And that was one mini example. There are some big beliefs in everyone's state of being, where it's affecting us on bigger levels in our lives, like in relationships and work and things like that. So when we actually uncover what that is and have those aha moments, and then I always ask, is there a time when you can remember that not being the case, or that not happening? And oftentimes there is maybe small occurrences or small examples, but every piece of evidence that you find for a better outcome or for a new belief is evidence. And, I often, like I said, ask my clients to keep journals, like evidence journals or belief journals for the new belief. So you can jot down everything that happens that's in line with the new belief. Because basically the only way that a belief solidifies is by our own validation of it. And often we validate it when we manifest it. And often we manifest it out of fear. So that's just one small facet of some of the soul coaching techniques that I use and some of the things that we explore. And it really, depends on you and what your struggle is and what your triggers are and what you're looking to accomplish. I want you to know that none of the soul coaching sessions are the same. They're all very different. I let it be conversational. I still use intuitive guidance, and most people feel very relieved after, because it clears huge blocks. When I first started coaching with my life coach, it was huge for me because it was so much more progressive than traditional therapy, having to start at year one and then tell all the way up to year whatever. It's not like that. It's like you can just kind of cut into things, dig in deep right away. And as your advisor, I pick up on that intuitively, and then we can clear stuff quickly and effectively and start working on the new beliefs. And also, like I said, balancing the masculine and feminine energies is a big part of the twin flame work, the ascension work. And in soul coaching, we do work on that too. It's a huge aspect that's become important in my own life, and I'm bringing it very much into the sessions. So don't forget that as we're talking about building resistance in our beliefs, that we go out of our feminine power that way, right? When we're going into fear or negative thinking or analyzing things or being stringent, because the true feminine energy is allowing things to flow. It's receptive. It's open, and it's all encompassing, and it's creative, and it's trusting. Okay, so I'll leave you with that little teaser. If anyone wants to book a session or work privately with me, you can book that on the twinflamefamily.com. I just redesigned the website, and there is an area called Transformations for local clients in Massachusetts, and then there's all the rest is for the Twin Flame family, or both segments can schedule a session under the Schedule a Session tab. So I will see you guys soon, and I'll be posting a segment in another couple of days, as well as your weekly energy report for Collective Twin Flames over the weekend. Okay, take care. Bye.